Lastly, when God starts to bless you, mind your ego. Ego is a very big thing in your life. In life, there are some rules that are created by human beings to make the world look like it is balanced to each one of us. But you realize that if you don't have those rules that you set for yourself, you might rub shoulders with a lot of people. Sometimes you just get yourself into an argument that you did not intend to. You see, every bad thing or good thing that happens in our lives starts from when somebody is alone. When you occupy your mind with negative thoughts, you occupy your mind with positive thoughts, there's different energies that is caused in an environment where you are. You see, many people blame others for their misfortunes. Some of the people give credit to others for their fortunes. But this is what happens. You can either get a misfortune or a fortune depending on what you are thinking when you are alone. You know, people can offer you something, but you always ask for that time to sit alone and think about it. That's the time that you need to mind your thoughts. Because if you don't mind what you think about when you are alone, you might end up making a decision that might ruin your life. Or when you mind what you're thinking about when you're alone, you can make a decision that can lift your life forever. Number two, when you're with your friends, this is always the time when people make a lot of mistakes. What do you tell your friends? How do you share your opinions? How do you get your words out? How do you tell it out to your friends? You know, every time that you see a group, you see a squad somewhere, mind what you're telling people. Because people might not judge you by the way you look, but people will judge you by the way you treat them. So treating people in one way is talking to them. How do you talk to them? Remember, no one will ever remember the gown you wore on your wedding day. But a lot of people will still remember the way you said I do. They can still remember the way you looked at them and you thanked them because of gracing the occasion of your wedding. So how you want to talk to people, you should always mind your mouth and mind your words. Number three, always remember that when anger is in your body, when you feel angry, mind your temper. You see, anger is something that we cannot always avoid. In one way or the other, you'll find yourself becoming angry, maybe with yourself, or maybe just because of nature, sometimes even the news that you read. But you see, when you can control your temper, you can control your anger. And when you can control your temper, you can control your actions that can be driven by anger. You know, sometimes you do things while you're angry, and then when you wake up to your consciousness, you realize that, oh, this wasn't me. I think it's not me that did all this. So mind your temper when you're angry. You might live longer in life. Number four, when you are with a group of people, just like when you're with your friends, try to control how you behave with the people. You see, sometimes there's a certain behavior that you don't want to put in every place. When you are in an open forum, you know how to behave. When you are in an official meeting with a group of people, you know how to behave. So try to control your behaviors every time you have a group that is not those people who are closer with you, like your family. And in fact, if you want to make it even more better, even when you are with your family, try to control how you behave yourself, because that will make it a routine for you to control yourself every time you get to any squad or group of people. Number five, which is the most important part of this conversation, when you are in trouble, people always try to find a solution very fast. But what I always say here, when you find yourself in trouble, try to control your emotions. Do not make your decisions or find solution depending on how emotional you are. Try to use that emotion to direct you to a bigger thing or a better thing. Always remember that troubles do not last forever. Problems will not live with you. We only grow the problems when we don't control our emotions. So problems problems can come today, but if you control your emotions, tomorrow they will be nowhere to be seen. Lastly, when God starts to bless you, mind your ego. Ego is a very big thing in your life. And most often when we receive blessings, we start to grow horns. We want to step on other people's tomatoes and we tell them we have money. We want to be the owners of oxygen, even though there's no one that owns the oxygen apart from God. Take your ego to the lowest level. Mind your ego and mind other people. Mind how you behave, because blessings come. And the same way the blessings come is the same way they can also disappear. So when God starts to lift you up, mind your ego, control it, and remember that you are dealing with a human being just like you.